You read that it fell. Ignore my glitter packaging. I come packing crafting. Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on SewStitchHex. I'm Macadamia, and today I just wanted to give a little overview of my experience getting these angel bites. If you watched some of my more recent videos and you saw them with the long bars in, and I was finally able to change it, and I figure I might as well put my experience, like my getting them and going through the healing process, here on my platform, so that if anyone wants to use it, they can decide if they want to get them, if this is something they feel like dealing with, and just kind of how it went. So for starters, a angel bite piercing is a mix of the Monroe and the Madonna, or two Monroes depending on who you ask, and it's two lip piercings. And I did get them at the same time, which some people just get one at a time. Two piercings at a time is really like pushing it, but I did just get the two. And I got these on January 8th, 2022. I've been talking about it for about a year, and I finally went and just did it. I was really concerned because of the mask, and I didn't see a lot of people talking about the healing process with the mask. I did see people mentioning not to wear like the disposable ones, the really easily like the fabricy. Well, the ones that you feel the like texture in there and it can come off as you wear it, because then it could get caught in the piercing, and you want to try and keep it as clean as possible and not get things caught in it. So of course I only wore, which I don't really wear the disposable ones anyway. I wear the ones I can just wash and just mix and match. And it's funny because they relaxed the mandates where I work after these healed. Like literally the week that I was able to change them, they were done. So it's like, well, I could show them off, but they didn't help me for the healing process. Getting them wasn't that bad. So the right side was first. That's what they did first. And I was super nervous. And it didn't really hurt that much, honestly. Because, they stick a needle in. They have to stick it in and go through the back is where the piercing would go. But they put it in through the front so they can make sure that it's going to be symmetrical when you wear your piercing. So it's not going to be all crooked because they went in through the back and it didn't go in properly. So that's part of the process. Disclaimer, I am not a body modification expert, a piercing expert. I'm not a doctor. I don't have any professional thing to say about it. I'm just giving you my experience. The process itself only took maybe 5 or 10 minutes. Most of it was nerves, and the piercer's really chill. They're really cool, the one that I go to. The second one, however, anytime you get two, I guess all your adrenaline or whatever, it comes up on the first. So the second one hurt like a bitch, quite honestly. But I just kind of hummed a little bit, which made my piercer laugh. But for the most part, I tried not to move. And it came out nice. And actually, throughout the healing process, the right side was phenomenal. It only had one hiccup, and that scared the shit out of me. So, for the whole process, this side hurt more throughout the whole thing. And by day 4, which would have been January 12th, it hurt so bad. The first day I got it, January 8th, didn't hurt at all. It didn't hurt for 4 days. Neither one of them was a problem. And I kept taking a pain reliever, fever reducer, swelling kind of a thing for reactions every day for the first week. Which you shouldn't take them for extended periods of time. But I did take it for the first week just in case, because I didn't want to cause any extra problems. But it didn't swell up until after I went to sleep, and then it would swell a little bit. It wasn't crazy noticeable, but I could see it. One thing I will say is that I did play around a little bit where I would because I didn't realize at first how it would bounce against my teeth until I just did that kind of, because I do that exasperated horse thing. And the first time I did it, it vibrated against my teeth, and it felt really weird. And I was just like, oh, wow. And I thought that was really funny. One of the hardest things about first getting it that first week was figuring out how to blow my nose with these long ass bars in my mouth. And I kept them in for like almost 3 months. It was a process. On February 3rd, so this is almost an entire month afterwards, the healing has been going good. The right side almost didn't hurt at all. Like, didn't even really notice. I just, like, it was fine. The left side was giving me more problems because it had more of the, I think it's called like lymph or whatever. It's when it like, the natural like gross crustiness, which you're gonna have. Which, side note, you shouldn't touch your piercings, especially with like dirty hands. You shouldn't touch them at all. But I did pick at them a little bit, like to clean them instead of just letting it come off naturally. But I didn't twist them because you shouldn't move them a lot because that's just agitating a healing like puncture wound in your face. Like, you shouldn't fuck with them. Honestly, just leave it alone, which I tried my best. So I've been using the process of doing saline solution twice a day. And for some reason, on February 3rd, the right side had a reaction. Like, I cleaned both of them. And my process to clean them was to spray and kind of wiggle, kind of like I was in Bewitched or something. Well, within 5 minutes, the right one swelled up. And it was, like, insane. And I'll put a picture right here of this horrible look. It happened in, like, 5 minutes. And I was petrified. I did not know what to do, so as soon as I got to work, because I was on my way to work, I washed my hands, which my process after that point would be to do my normal hand washing routine, which was to wash my hands twice like I normally would, but I would do it 2 times just to double check to make sure I didn't miss anything. And then it's the antibacterial soap. I'd use it and I'd gently rub it around the area, but there was enough water and suds that I could just wiggle and clean it. After I did that, honestly, I was hungry, so I ate some almonds, but then it went down. The swelling went down over the next 2 or 3 hours, and then it was fine. And so after February 3rd, I no longer use the saline solution on them. I just used antibacterial soap with a double hand wash and then cleanse and wiggle kind of routine. And then gently like splash water up and dry it very carefully without trying to touch them or mess with them too much. And that actually worked perfectly fine, and I thought they were healing even better than before. The redness went down because it was red for the first 2 months. At the 1 month point, February 8th, the new cleaning routine was like clearly doing better. And then by February 15th, I didn't feel any soreness at all. So changing my cleaning routine definitely helped the process come along. It helps that I don't have long nails, which can get more gross and crime on them. Like, I still get, of course, I know you would still get stuff in your nails, but because I have anxiety, I bite my nails a lot, and I don't really work well with acrylics or any type of press-ons. So that helped because I didn't have the extra, like, germs. I did want to say, if you're going to do my routine, I did the double hand washing, which dried my hands out a lot. So, like, I had to lotion my hands a lot more because they was getting ashy as hell. But I did want to point that out. And then March 3rd, everything from then on was just perfectly fine, except for the first time I got the back of the long bar, because, you know, they were super long, they were no longer swelling, but it was within a month, it got caught on my teeth, and I was scared because I didn't want to move my lip, and my first reaction when I get freaked out is go, which will pull it, and I was just like, oh my God, what do I do? I was freaking out, especially because I just laid down. And I was terrified, but I just pushed it with my tongue to get it off my tooth and not move my mouth because I was like so scared, and that was fine. But getting it caught on my teeth while eating was a problem at the beginning because there were such long bars and I wasn't used to it, and it was just ridiculous. And I think it's 16 gauge. I think it's 16 gauge. By March 3rd, I was able to change them. Now, on March 3rd, was actually a terrible day because like I got up and I got dressed really quickly, and so my shirt was inside out. The ball on my tongue ring fell off, and I didn't have a spare, so I was like, damn. And then I get to work, and the ball on my left, because I'd already loosened it with I think it's hemostat or whatever. It's the little metal clampers. I got them so I could change it myself at home, because I wanted to go to the piercing studio to change them, but I watched people change them multiple times. I know the process, and I just needed to get it loosened, because, you know, they tighten it so much when you first get it, which is good. It's good, but it's hard to get off. So, like, I had already planned on changing them, but then I, like, pussied out. Like, I changed them. I put in a new piercing, and I was like, what if it swells? So I switched it right back, which is really stupid and really bad, but that's what I did. I didn't loosen this one. So on March 3rd, the ball fell off this one. So I had no choice but to change them. But it was time for me to, I'd already clocked in, and I just walked down the floor. The ball fell off, and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I was freaking out because, like, I hadn't officially got to change them yet. And I was really scared, and the balls are really small, and the bar is really short. So it's a really long, like, process for me to change them. Like, it's really hard, and I was scared, so I was shaky. So I just popped in, like, a clear hoop. Because I was like, fuck it, why not? It's clear, it's plastic, it won't hurt my teeth that much, so it's like, fuck it, whatever. But I was so shaky that at first I was going too slow, and then I went too fast, and it caused it to bleed a little bit. Which meant I was freaking out even more, but it stopped almost immediately. And I cleaned everything up, and it was good. This one I couldn't take out, so I had a long bar end and a like plastic, I don't know how to pronounce it, but the plastic stuff that you get for piercings. And so I looked absolutely ridiculous for the whole day. And then I got home, cleaned everything, changed it out. I changed this one first, and I put in my cute little pearls that I'm wearing now, little pink pearls. And then this one I had to hold with the hemostat thing and spin off, which was hard because I was turning to the right instead of to the left. And it's lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, but it's hard to do when you're looking in a mirror because everything's backwards, and then you're not looking at yourself, so you don't really know. So it took a long time to get it off, but as I got it off, just pop it through and twist it, just going like that. And doing the twist, which you can watch plenty of videos on people changing their piercings for the first time. It's not hard to find, and it's not really like that difficult. It's mostly nerves, and it went really easy. I used the hemostat to help me tighten it a little bit more, just so I could make sure it wouldn't fall off in my sleep. And that was the process. It was really easy, and by the 4th, because I work at night, so my day is nighttime. By the 4th, both of them were changed. Everything's good. And I have had 0 problems since. And it is now like March 10th or something. And they look adorable. I love them. They're angel bites, but I like to call them my cutie bites. And they're just so fun. I adore them. I think they're precious. And being the long bars, they're perfectly fine. Although it feels like the scar tissue on the inside of the right one feels different than the scar tissue on this one. Because this one I can't notice anything. But this one I can kind of tell something's different around the piercing. And I'm not really sure why. But it doesn't hurt. There is no pain in changing it, which is how you know it's healed. There's no pain. There's no issues. It's been like 3 months. And so everything's good. Technically, I think it's been 2 months. It's just on the 3rd month. It's healed, and it's all good. And so I've had that process. Now, changing it, you shouldn't take it out for more than 2 or 3 hours because it will drop really fast when you first got it. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take before I can take it out for extended periods of time without the fear of it closing up. With my tongue ring, after I had it for like half a year, maybe a year, I can take it out for 2 or 3 months without any issues. And then after that, it becomes a little difficult to put it through the hole because the hole has started to close up. But I can take my tongue ring out for an extended period of time. These are newer, and I will see how that goes with that process. One thing to note, I have severe anxiety. And one new fear that I have with my angel bites is I especially had it with the long bars. With the short bars, I'm not as terrified. But say I pop open a canned beverage, put the tab back. I'm still afraid because, you know, the tab always still stays a little bit up. I had this irrational fear every time I drank from a can that the can was going to catch on the long bar and pull it out of my mouth, and I wouldn't have even thought of it. And I was so scared after that thought occurred to me. And I just felt like that irrational idea of what might happen to me if I was drinking a soda and it caught on my piercing. But that never happened. I will say, the hardest thing to get used to is when you first get it, or if it has like a stud, because my long bars had studs, is they'll get occasionally kind of feel like they're almost caught, but not quite, on a blanket when you're sleeping. And that's something to look out for, and not accidentally bumping them, because one of the times I did drop my phone on them, and that hurt like crazy. And I didn't mean to, but you know when you drop your phone on your face. So really just paying attention to what you're doing so you don't bump it or pull it when getting dressed is really the only issue. I did have that little bit of an issue with blowing my nose because you have to get around but that's just a me thing, I guess. I don't know if other people have that problem, but if you're interested in getting the angel bites, that might be something to think about. And overall, I thought the process was really easy. It was really smooth. I didn't think it was too difficult. Just when I cleaned it with the saline solution, it had that strange reaction, freaked me out because I didn't think that was going to happen. But after I cleaned it with soap, it was perfectly fine. But that's just my experience. If anyone was interested in getting angel bites or whatever, I figured I could tell you how I dealt with it and what I went through in case you were thinking about it. It was like, I think with the tip, it was like $110. I think it was like $100 for both. It would have been like $60 or $70 each to get one and then the other. But I got both at the same time, so it was like $100. You know, it only took maybe 5-10 minutes. Most of the process was just, they had it all sterilized and ready. I sit down. We had to agree on where to go. And then being patient from there and not moving. But yeah, it was a great process. I'm happy with this little piercing modification that I got, and I'm very pleased with the outcome. If you are interested, or if you already have this piercing, please let me know in the comments below. If you think it's super cute, but you wouldn't do it yourself, feel free to tell me in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you here next time on SewStitchHex. Have a wicked evening. Bye!